In the vast, swirling tapestry of existence, there lies an invisible thread, a silent conductor weaving through the symphony of moments, choices, and destinies. This thread, subtle yet unyielding, guides the intricate dance of manifestation, as if the cosmos itself breathes in rhythms attuned not to the ticking of human clocks, but to the deeper pulse of readiness. It is within this sacred cadence that the universe whispers its most profound secrets, revealing truths not before their time, as though awaiting the opening of an inner eye or the softening of a heart capable of receiving them. To say, "This will manifest when the universe knows you're ready to hear it," is to speak of a cosmic patience, a deliberate unfolding that aligns the external with the internal, the seen with the unseen, and the known with the ineffable. Imagine the universe as a grand library, infinite halls lined with shelves of shimmering light and shadow, where every idea, every possibility, every ancient wisdom resides in waiting. Yet the volumes do not reveal themselves to random passers-by. Instead, they resonate only with those whose souls carry the particular frequency, those whose minds have reached a threshold of openness, and whose spirits have weathered a crucible of transformation. The laws of the universe, the unseen architecture that governs ebb and flow, cause and effect, attraction and surrender, stand as guardians at the gates of understanding. They do not command or coerce, but rather invite and respond, a dialogue unfolding between the seeker and the cosmos, a sacred exchange that honors timing as much as intention. In the shadowy corridors of human experience, many have whispered of this timeless truth, that knowledge and manifestation are not simply the fruits of desire or willpower, but the blossoming of readiness. Just as a seed must endure seasons beneath the soil, darkness concealing its promise until the warmth and moisture call it forth, so too must the soul reach a state of receptivity before the enfolded mysteries can emerge into conscious life. This readiness is not a mere waiting, it is an alchemical process, a transformation wrought through reflection, surrender, and a deepening alignment with one's true nature. It is in this rich, fertile ground of preparation that the universe knows it may safely entrust one with the keys to hidden chambers. To speak of manifestation as contingent upon readiness is to reframe our relationship with the so-called laws of attraction, or universal laws, in a manner that transcends mechanistic cause and effect. It is an invitation to enter the subtle theater of co-creation, where the cosmos is not an indifferent machine, but a living entity responding to the nuances of consciousness. The universe does not thrust revelations upon the unprepared like lightning from a darkened sky. Rather, it orchestrates a symphony of signs, symbols, and synchronicities that beckon the awakened observer to step deeper into the mystery. These manifestations, ideas, insights, relationships, or opportunities, arrive as gifts calibrated to the exact frequency of the individual's being, perfectly timed to ignite the next phase of growth. Beneath this grand narrative lies the enigma of timing itself. What does it mean for the universe to know when you are ready? It suggests an intelligence that transcends the linear, a cosmic intuition that perceives beyond the confines of chronological measurement. Within this sacred knowing, the boundary between cause and effect blurs, revealing a dynamic interplay where your inner evolution and the universe's unfolding are threads in the same cosmic fabric. This is not the passive patience of waiting idly by, but an active, patient engagement with life's flow, a willingness to immerse oneself in the present moment's transformative power while holding the invisible thread of potential. The laws of the universe, often spoken of in hushed tones as if myth or metaphor, are in reality the undercurrent of existence, the deep grammar of reality itself. They govern the interplay between light and darkness, form and formlessness, identity and unity. These laws whisper of resonance, vibration, polarity, and balance, yet their true artistry surfaces when understood as living principles that respond to consciousness. Within this dynamic interplay, the timing of manifestation emerges not as a rigid checkpoint, but as an elegant dance of readiness, trust, and surrender. When the inner temple is prepared, the universe opens doors previously hidden, revealing a landscape rich with meaning and possibility. To embark on this journey of understanding is to step beyond surface appearances and enter a luminous realm where the boundaries between self and cosmos dissolve. Here, you become a co-artist in the cosmic masterpiece, painting with the colors of intention, awareness, and timing. The universe's knowing is not distant or abstract. It is an intimate communion, a heartbeat synchronized with your own. It is the quiet assurance that what you seek is already seated within the fertile soil of your being, awaiting only the moment when your soul is fully primed to receive and transform it. In this light, manifestation is far more than the arrival of external circumstances. It is the awakening of a deeper truth, the materialization of an inner shift into outer reality. The universe's laws are not rigid commands handed down from on high, but living, breathing energies that respond to the subtle alchemy of your evolving consciousness. They are like ancient rivers flowing beneath the surface of experience, guiding and shaping the landscape of possibility in accordance with your readiness to navigate their currents. Thus begins the unfolding revelation that the mysteries you seek, the answers you crave, and the change you desire are intimately bound to the rhythm of your becoming. When the universe knows you are ready to hear, it does not merely deliver messages. It awakens you to the profound interconnectedness of all things, where time, space, intention, and reality merge in a sacred cosmic dance. This dance invites you not only to receive, but to participate with grace and courage, to align with the hidden architecture of existence, and to step boldly into the vast horizon of your own potential. In this opening chapter of exploration, you are invited to awaken to the subtle pulse behind manifestation, an intelligence woven into the very fabric of reality, a cosmic custodian of timing and readiness. The journey ahead will unfurl the laws that govern this mysterious interplay, revealing how the universe holds the keys to transformation, waiting patiently for the moment when your consciousness intersects perfectly with the eternal now. Here, in this meeting of readiness and revelation, the universe's grand design reveals itself, and what was once hidden is brought forth into radiant light. Beneath the shimmering veil of existence lies a tapestry woven with threads that defy ordinary comprehension, where the laws of the universe are not rigid edicts etched in stone, but vibrant rhythms pulsing through the living cosmos. To understand what truly manifests when the universe knows you are ready to hear, one must begin to discern between the surface illusions of reality and the deeper, almost whispered truths that hum beneath. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates through principles far beyond the grasp of linear logic, the kind that dance fluidly between seeming paradoxes, inviting the seeker into an intimate dialogue with the unfathomable. At the heart of these principles is the profound law of resonance, a cosmic symphony in which all things vibrate and respond. This is not merely an abstract notion, but a living force shaping the contours of manifestation. When your inner frequency aligns with the subtle currents flowing through the universe, a natural magnetism arises, not unlike the invisible harmonies that cause planets to orbit or atoms to bind, binding you to experiences and revelations designed precisely for your stage of awakening. The universe seems to listen with a patience beyond measure, waiting for your being to tune itself to the channel where authentic understanding flows uninterrupted. It is less a question of demanding or controlling, and more a sacred invitation to attune to the cosmic frequency that will carry the seeds of your readiness into fertile ground. Yet this alignment is elusive if perceived as a mere transaction. The universe does not simply deliver messages as though handing over a package. Instead, it unfolds like a vast ocean of symbols, signs, and synchronicities that require an alchemy of perception to decode. Here emerges the law of correspondences, a hidden architecture in which every outer form is a mirror reflecting inner states. To glimpse this, one must become fluent in the language of metaphors and symbols, those delicate brushstrokes that paint reality in layers. What may appear as random events are in truth the universe's cryptic script, an encoded dialogue written across the stars, in the rustling of leaves, in the cadence of your breath. When the universe deems you ready, it shifts these veils and the mundane transforms into a sacred text, revealing truths previously concealed by the fog of distraction or disbelief. This dance between the outer and inner realms invites the seeker into a paradoxical journey where time itself reveals its hidden fold. The law of divine timing is not the hurried ticking of the clock, but the slow, deliberate unfolding of moments that bloom like celestial flowers in their own perfect season. What may seem delayed or denied is often the universe's way of weaving a richer story, allowing the soil of your soul to deepen and expand in preparation for what lies ahead. In this light, impatience becomes a veil clouding readiness, while trust becomes the key unlocking the door to realization. The universe's timing is a tapestry where every thread is woven with exquisite care, a reminder that readiness is more than a mental state. It is an experiential attunement to the unfolding mystery of now. Embedded within these laws is the subtle power of intention, not as a force to command the universe, but as a sacred dialogue between will and surrender. True intention is a flame lit from deep within, a beacon that signals your readiness to receive what is due, yet it must be held with tender flexibility, aware that the universe's response may come clothed in forms unexpected, even challenging. This is the law of co-creation, where your consciousness is both artist and canvas, weaving the threads of destiny with the universe's own design. It whispers that you are both the question and the answer, the seeker and the guide, alongside the boundless energy that orchestrates becoming. In this endless interplay, manifestation becomes less about possession and more about participation in a sacred partnership with the cosmos. Moreover, the universe's wisdom resides in the law of impermanence, a constant reminder that all forms are transient echoes of deeper truths. This invites a luminous perspective where readiness is not a static destination, but a fluid state of openness to change and transformation. What appears as arrival is in truth a threshold to ever deeper levels of awareness. The universe teaches that clinging to fixed outcomes blinds the inner eye to the unfolding grandeur beyond the immediate horizon. Thus, readiness encompasses surrender to the unknown, a willingness to dissolve and be reborn in the kaleidoscope of existence. This law is the undercurrent that frees the soul from the illusions of permanence and control, unveiling a profound trust in the eternal dance of creation and dissolution. Intertwined with these principles is the subtle recognition of the law of polarity and balance, the eternal interplay between opposites that compose the fabric of reality. Light and shadow, expansion and contraction, knowing and unknowing, all dance in a universal rhythm that teaches the soul the art of equilibrium. When the universe signals readiness, it often arrives cloaked in contradictions, inviting the seeker to hold tension and paradox without fracture. This law reveals that wisdom does not reside in escaping hardship or negating darkness, but in embracing the full spectrum of experience, seeing therein the hidden threads that weave wholeness. Within this sacred balance, manifestation becomes a reflection not of linear progress, but of cyclical harmony, where each phase of readiness nurtures the next in an endless spiral of awakening. Underlying all these laws is the profound realization that the universe is not merely a vast mechanical system, but a sentient whole, responsive and alive. This cosmic consciousness perceives readiness not as a checkbox, but as a vibrational resonance, a meeting point where the seeker's evolving essence harmonizes with the greater unfolding. To be ready is to be present in the deepest sense, mind, heart, and soul converging in a sacred yes to the mysteries that call beyond the veil. In this space, the universe reveals itself as a mirror of your own divine essence, and what manifests is less an external event and more an inner revelation, a radiant blossoming of the soul's true nature. Thus, the laws of manifestation in this grand cosmic play invite you to transcend surface appearances, to decode the sacred language of time, symbol, and intention woven into the fabric of existence. They beckon you to embrace paradox, to honor timing with patience, to ignite intention with humble surrender, and to dwell in the luminous balance of all that is. When the universe knows you are ready, it does not deliver mere knowledge. It unlocks the living alchemy of transformation itself, an intricate dance where your consciousness and the cosmos entwine in a sacred embrace, weaving the unseen into reality. In understanding these laws, you begin to see that readiness is not a passive wait, but an active unfolding, a blossoming into the vast, mysterious rhythm that pulses behind all that is and ever can be. In the quiet depths of ancient forests, where time folds upon itself like the delicate wings of nocturnal moths, there exists an old tale whispered among the silvered leaves, a parable of a solitary gardener and the mysterious bloom that could only open when the earth herself deemed the soul worthy. This gardener, devoted and patient, tended a seed unlike any other, cradled gently in the palm of their hand like a sacred ember glowing faintly against the cool night. Day after day, they spoke to the seed, not from expectation or desire, but from a place of reverence, understanding that true flowering is never hurried, nor is it won through force. The seed, wrapped in layers of ancient silence, chose its moment in the symphony of seasons, revealing its radiant petals only when the gardener's heart had attuned to the subtle language of growth, when the soil of readiness in both earth and soul aligned to birth the miraculous. This allegory is not merely a quaint fable, but a mirror reflecting the deeper laws that govern manifestation in the cosmos. Just as the gardener's seed waits for the perfect conjunction of elements, so too does the universe keep its secrets close, unveiling them only upon the harmonic convergence of readiness and revelation. The seed, cocooned in quiet mystery, is akin to the truths that shimmer beyond the veil, wisdoms encoded in the DNA of stars and the whispers of unseen dimensions, told in the language of patience, trust, and timing. The gardener's journey is our own, a pilgrimage across the landscapes of inner readiness, where the soil is tilled by reflection, softened by surrender, and nourished by the light of awareness. Let us then wander further into the twilight realm of symbolic story, where a river flows endlessly toward the horizon, bearing the weight of countless dreams upon its undulating currents. Along its banks stands a solitary figure, a seeker whose eyes are fixed on the unseen origin of the water's birth. The seeker dips their hands into the river and feels the pulse of life itself, a whisper of cosmic memory carried downstream, a song older than worlds. Yet when the seeker asks the river to reveal the source of its flow, the river only laughs in ripples, urging patience. "When you are ready," it murmurs, "when your heart can hold the mystery without grasping, and your spirit can drink without drowning, then you will see the spring from which all currents arise." In this narrative, the river is the eternal continuum of existence, ever flowing, ever shifting, yet bound by rhythms beyond mortal control. It embodies the laws that orchestrate the dance between potential and manifestation, bridging the hidden and the visible. The seeker, in their yearning, is an echo of the soul's quest for meaning, for the sacred knowledge that is not simply given, but earned through the alchemy of inner transformation. Here lies a cosmic truth encoded in symbolism. The universe does not offer its deepest gifts to those who rush or demand. Instead, it waits for a readiness born from trust, a readiness that dissolves the illusion of control and embraces the unfolding with open hands and a patient heart. Another tale from the vaults of spiritual lore speaks of a solitary bridge, spanning a vast abyss, constructed not from wood or stone, but from threads of light woven by unseen hands. Only those who dare to step onto this luminous bridge with a heart free from fear can cross to the realm where deeper truths reside. Many stand at its edge, hesitant, longing to traverse the divide but held back by doubt and the weight of unready thoughts. Yet those who take the first step, not knowing what awaits but trusting in the invisible support beneath their feet, find the bridge extending beneath them as if it had always existed, solidified by the very act of their courageous movement. This story casts light on the dynamic interplay between readiness and manifestation, revealing the paradox that readiness is not a passive state, but a brave leap into the unknown, embraced before certainty reveals itself. The bridge of light is the metaphorical passage of consciousness, a threshold where the seeker's intention and the universe's timing intertwine like dancers in an eternal waltz. The crossing demands surrender to the unseen forces that weave destiny, a humbling acknowledgement that true wisdom arises not from control, but from partnership with the mysterious architects of reality. In a distant desert, beneath the vast canopy of endless stars, there lies an ancient astronomer who charts celestial patterns not for conquest but for communion. This astronomer observes the dance of planets and constellations, eyes reflecting the shimmer of cosmic secrets. One night, as the heavens align in a rare celestial configuration, the astronomer feels a stirring, a knowing that the moment of revelation is imminent. Yet, they do not rush toward answers but instead open themselves to the silent dialogue between soul and universe. In that sacred pause, an invisible door swings open in the fabric of reality, and the wisdom long sought filters softly into the astronomer's being, like stardust settling gently upon a sleeping earth. The astronomer's vigil is an elegant metaphor for the principle that the universe unveils its deepest laws not as blunt edicts but as subtle invitations, whispered when the seeker's mind and heart are attuned to listen. This symbolism speaks to the necessity of stillness and receptive awareness, a spiritual posture where time dilates and ordinary perception dissolves into luminous understanding. Here, manifestation unfolds in the grace between moments, the sacred space where readiness becomes the fertile ground upon which cosmic knowledge blooms. Collectively, these stories form a tapestry rich with cosmic allegory, a living parable stitched from the threads of human experience and universal mystery. They invite us to see readiness not as an endpoint or a static achievement, but as a dynamic, evolving dance within the great symphony of existence. Manifestation is portrayed not as a transaction or conquest, but as a sacred dialogue, a co-creation where the universe, alive with consciousness, responds to the seeker's inner resonance. The gardener's patient tending, the river's playful mystery, the bridge of luminous courage, and the astronomer's receptive gaze all illuminate facets of this profound truth, that what will manifest emerges precisely at the moment. The soul attunes to the language of the cosmos, a language written in the stars, in silence, and in the beating of the human heart. In embracing these symbolic narratives, we are invited to step beyond the constraints of linear time and pragmatic expectation, to wander in the realm where myth and reality converge, and to glimpse the hidden architecture of existence. These stories do not merely instruct, they transform, awakening the dormant alchemist within who knows that readiness is not a destination but a sacred journey. To wait with grace is to ripple in harmony with the unfolding ocean of time. To trust the slow bloom of the seed is to honor the secret rhythms that pulse beneath all that seems still. And in this unfolding, the union of seeker and universe births the luminous manifestation, one that surpasses mere appearance and reveals the radiant truth, that what we are ready to hear and receive is, in itself, the very manifestation of our becoming. To bring these celestial truths down from the lofty realms of metaphysics into the gentle soil of everyday life is to undertake a subtle alchemy, transforming ethereal insights into lived experience. The wisdom that the universe reveals only when we are ready is not a distant myth, but a practical guide that courses beneath the surface of mundane routines, whispering to the quiet places within us where transformation truly takes root. It invites us to perceive our daily existence not as a series of random events or mere tasks to be checked off, but as a sacred dialogue where timing, awareness, and inner readiness align with the cosmic pulse. Consider for a moment the patience required in a garden's growth, a metaphor deeply woven with the law of readiness. In life, forcing outcomes or rushing manifestations resembles uprooting a seedling before its roots have intertwined with the earth. It disturbs the delicate balance necessary for flourishing. When we embrace the notion that manifestations arise precisely when the universe senses our preparedness, we begin to soften against the anxiety of unmet desires. Instead of a grasping that fractures our peace, this awareness offers a spaciousness, a quiet trust that the unseen rhythms are always in motion, even when surface appearances suggest delay or inertia. This subtle shift transforms waiting from an act of frustration into a state of fertile stillness, where inner growth and outer synchronicities flourish together. In the fabric of everyday life, this is a call to attune ourselves to the nuanced signals and subtle nudges that often go unnoticed. The universe's language is not always thunderous. More often, it is a gentle unfolding, a texture of coincidences, dreams, intuitive sparks, and moments of clarity that ripple beneath the noise of distraction. By cultivating a receptive heart and sharpening the quiet inner senses, we learn to distinguish between the impatience born of ego and the deep knowing that waits in stillness. This discernment changes how we act in relationships, work, and personal pursuits. It moves us from a posture of control and relentless striving to one of patient presence and creative patience. When we understand manifestation as an emergent happening, an interplay of inner readiness and cosmic timing, we also begin to perceive our role not as passive recipients, but as active participants in a grand choreography. Practical life becomes a dance where intention is held lightly, like the skillful touch of a conductor guiding an orchestra whose players are the elements of our environment, thoughts, and feelings. We learn that setting clear intentions, nurturing our emotional and mental states, and aligning our actions with our authentic values create the resonance that invites the universe's response. Yet crucially, we learn to hold this resonance with an open palm, releasing the desire to control when or how the manifestation will appear. This balance between active co-creation and surrendered trust is where true power resides. It becomes evident that readiness is inseparable from self-awareness and emotional alchemy. Our internal landscapes, beliefs, fears, wounds, and aspirations form the lens through which we experience reality and therefore determine the shape of what is ready to manifest. Thus, practical integration calls us toward ongoing inner work, cultivating emotional resilience, questioning conditioned limitations, and expanding our capacity to embrace uncertainty with grace. Each moment becomes an opportunity to shed resistance and deepen alignment, with the truth that the universe's timing is itself a sacred intelligence, orchestrating our journeys with precision beyond our immediate comprehension. This practice invites a profound humility coupled with empowerment, reminding us that the power to manifest is a partnership, a sacred trust between our evolving self and the cosmos. In the rhythms of daily life, this understanding encourages us to reframe challenges and delays not as failures but as invitations for deeper cultivation. When an anticipated event or insight remains elusive, it may be the universe's subtle way of urging us to refine our readiness, to expand our consciousness, cultivate patience, or heal hidden wounds. This transforms setbacks into sacred waypoints, enriching the journey rather than diminishing it. The simple act of embracing this perspective can ripple outward, fostering greater peace amidst uncertainty, and inviting a more expansive relationship with time itself. not as a linear progression, but as a looped, living spiral where readiness and manifestation perpetually co-arise. Practical wisdom drawn from this cosmic dance also nurtures the art of listening, not just to external guidance, but to the internal whispers that signal our evolving readiness. Moments of inspiration, intuition, and even discomfort become precious guides, marking the terrain where transformation is underway. As we become fluent in this language, we find that the mysteries of manifestation are less about magical timing and more about becoming attuned observers of the subtle shifts within ourselves, shifts that reflect the universe's unfolding plan. Life thus becomes a sacred practice of presence, a continuous tuning into the symphony that is the interplay of readiness, revelation, and manifestation. In the broad canvas of reality, these insights invite us to live with a heightened sense of sacred curiosity. Each day, each encounter, and each breath becomes a thread woven into the larger cosmic tapestry where timing, vibration, and consciousness meet. When we embody this view, we begin to see that what the universe offers us at the exact moment we are ready to receive, it is not simply an external event or material gain, but an expansion of our awareness, a blossoming of the soul's capacity to hold greater truths. This is the true treasure of manifestation, the evolving resonance with the universe's infinite wisdom, an ongoing unfolding where the seen and unseen dance as one. Ultimately, the real-world impact of these grand laws is a fundamental transformation in how we relate to ourselves and the world around us. We cultivate a mindful patience that does not resign, but rather trusts, an active receptivity that is neither passive nor desperate but centered and radiant. This balance invites a gentle revolution against the frantic pace of modern life, a reclamation of time and space where manifestation is understood as a sacred conversation between the cosmos and the soul. It is in this space, between readiness and revelation, that life blossoms in its deepest and most meaningful expressions. Here, the invisible becomes visible, the silent speaks, and the universe's gifts arrive not a moment too soon or too late, but precisely exactly when the heart is open enough to embrace them. As we draw the threads of this cosmic meditation together, it becomes clear that the universe is less a chaotic expanse and more an intricately woven symphony, a living language spoken in frequencies of readiness and resonance. This language does not shout or impose but whispers, waiting patiently for the soul to attune itself, to receive what cannot be rushed or forced. It is here, in this sacred interval between desire and manifestation, that the profound mystery of timing unfolds. What is meant for us will not come too early, lest we be unprepared to grasp its full meaning, nor will it come too late, for the universe's rhythm is precise beyond our linear understanding. This delicate balance embodies a wisdom far older than our fleeting moments of impatience or doubt. Within this spacious moment between readiness and revelation, the cosmos invites us into a dance of trust, where surrender is not defeat but triumph, where waiting becomes an active state of openness rather than silence of despair. To be ready is to cultivate an inner alchemy, turning the lead of uncertainty and struggle into the gold of clarity and alignment. It is to recognize that manifestation is not mere coincidence or chance. It is the poetry of existence itself, written in the fingerprints of cosmic law and the pulse of consciousness. When the universe knows we are ready, it is less a judgment and more an acknowledgement of our expanding capacity to hold, understand, and integrate greater truths. This readiness is the blossoming of our own inner wisdom mirrored in the external unfolding of events. Consider the metaphor of a seed buried deep within the earth, unseen but alive with potential. It does not break the soil's surface until the conditions, warmth, moisture, light, are perfectly balanced to support growth. To rush the moment would be to risk the fragile emergence of life. To delay too long would be to suffocate that potential. Likewise, our desires, insights, and awakenings arise not simply because we want them, but when the subtle ecology of our being and the universe at large align in harmonic accord. The laws governing this process are invisible threads that connect our inner state to the external world, affirming that the timing of manifestation is indeed a sacred art, one that transcends mechanistic cause and effect. In embracing this truth, we are invited to shift from a mindset of control to one of co-creation, from impatience to presence, from fragmentation to wholeness. This transformation touches the very fabric of our existence, urging us to see ourselves not as isolated actors struggling against the tides of fate, but as participants in an immense cosmic dialogue. Each thought, feeling, and action becomes a note in the universal melody, contributing to the evolving harmony of being. We begin to understand that what manifests in our lives is not simply a product of external forces, but a reflection of the depth of our own internal readiness and the subtle exchanges we hold with the unseen realms. The laws of the universe that govern manifestation are not cold or distant but deeply intimate. They respond to the whispers of our soul, the sincerity of our quest, and the steadfastness of our faith in the unfolding process. They honor the complexity of our journey, recognizing that each soul's path is unique in timing, texture, and rhythm. Sometimes, what is ready to manifest may appear as a profound insight. Other times, as a synchronistic encounter or a shift in perception that opens new doors. What remains constant is the sacred timing, an invitation to lean into the unknown with a heart that trusts the unfolding even when the destination remains unseen. In this trust lies a quiet revolution against the frenetic pulse of modernity, a reclaiming of our deepest human heritage as co-creators with the cosmos. It asks us to hold space for patience as a form of spiritual strength and to honor the natural pace of growth as a sacred cadence. When we understand manifestation as a sacred dialogue rather than a transaction, we free ourselves from the tyranny of instant gratification and begin to dance with time itself, recognizing its role as both teacher and guardian of divine unfolding. This awakening to universal timing and readiness is itself a gift, a door opening onto the vast landscape of consciousness where the seen and unseen entwine. As we cultivate this awareness, our lives become living prayers, our actions sacred offerings, and our existence a testament to the harmonious interplay of free will and cosmic order. In this spacious knowing, we are invited to surrender not to resignation, but to a profound, active participation in the mystery. Here, the universe reveals its greatest secret, that true manifestation is not merely about receiving, but about becoming, the gradual unfolding into a fuller expression of who we are meant to be. So let us step forward with reverence and courage, carrying the wisdom that what will manifest will do so precisely when we are equipped to receive it, not by chance, but by the invisible hands of universal law. Let us listen deeply for the subtle signals of readiness within, honoring the journey that prepares us. And let us hold faith that our desires, our dreams, our awakenings, are not solitary yearnings but the echo of a grand cosmic design. In this realization, the heart softens and the soul expands, touched by the quiet certainty that the universe does not hurry, does not delay, but always gifts us exactly what we need when we are truly ready to hear its call.